Hey everybody, it's Henna and I like to talk about perfume. Today I'm talking about Profumum Roma, which is a perfume brand out of Italy. I became aware of this brand sometime in February, I want to say. I don't know what brought me to knowing about this brand, and they were on my radar when I went to Milan in March. And I looked for them everywhere in Milan, in all the stores, tons and tons of perfume stores that I went to, and I never once came across them, which was unfortunate and kind of strange because you would think that they would have really good distribution in Italy itself, but from what I understand, they don't really have good distribution around the world yet. But they are becoming a lot more popular, I think, because if I have just found out about them, I think other people have as well. I was looking for a perfume that smelled like confetti, which are Italian candy. They're basically almonds that are coated with a sugar coating, a hard candy coating, and they come in bright colors. Often they're in pastel colors, and usually you can find them around Easter. I wanted a perfume that smelled like confetti. I found out that Profumum Roma had this perfume called Confetto, and I thought that that would be perfect because this is an Italian brand making a perfume that's based on the scent of this Italian candy. And I thought, what could be better? So I really wanted to smell Confetto in person instead of just blind buying. And I couldn't find it anywhere in Italy. When I put out feelers about the brand and to see if people had heard of the brand, a lot of people recommended Aqua Sale, and I don't have a sample of that one, but that one seemed to be a crowd pleaser and a clear winner among perfume connoisseurs and collectors. So if you're looking for a place to start, that might be it. I didn't start there simply because I was lucky enough to have some samples sent to me, and not by the brand, but by someone else who had a few bottles. And so my journey started somewhere else. And also I was specifically looking for a sample of Confetto, and I did end up acquiring that. And so I'll talk about the ones that I've tried. Let's start with the first one, and this is definitely one of the more popular Profumum Roma perfumes, at least according to the people that I pulled. And that one is Aqua di Zucchero. Now, this is a perfect perfume for anyone who loves vanilla because it is mainly a vanilla perfume. Zucchero is sugar water, I believe, or sugar in general. And this does just smell like sugar. Like, it's not complex, it's quite linear. And I'll say that even though it just smells like sugar, it's not overly sweet, it's not cloying, and I found that to be consistent among all the Profumum Roma perfumes that I tried. Even something like this, which is supposed to be really, really sweet, I mean, eating spoonfuls of sugar is going to kind of make your teeth hurt because it's just so sweet. Even though this is supposed to be just sugar, it doesn't smell overly sweet. They have toned down the sweetness so that it's palatable, and I really enjoyed that about it. To my nose, it kind of smelled like cotton candy, also just like plain cotton candy, not like a flavored cotton candy. And I didn't mind that, but it just kind of seemed a little bit boring to me. So this wasn't like a scent that I hated. I enjoyed wearing my sample quite a bit. I just couldn't see myself buying a bottle because it was just sugar. Like, that's all I got from it, just sugar, just cotton candy. I mean, it's delicious and mouthwatering, and again, very, very wearable. I would say, from spring all the way to like spring, winter, and fall, you'd be able to wear this perfume. I probably wouldn't wear it in the summertime, but because it was so linear, it just wasn't a perfume that I would want to get. But if you're looking for a vanilla perfume that's I would still say it's better than 90% of vanillas that I've smelled. Like, I don't like vanillas that are super sweet. I don't like some of the even more expensive vanillas. Like, I didn't really like Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille. That just doesn't do it for me. If you're looking for a vanilla, but something that's not uber sweet and has toned down the sweetness, you might want to sample Zucchero because I think it is going in the right direction. For me, it was just too plain. So that was my only criticism against it, but lots of people would love that, I think. So the next one I had a sample of was called Battito Dali, and this basically means the beating of the wings in Italian, and the idea that it's trying to convey is fragility. I don't know if I really get that when I wear this perfume because this is a more interesting, complex perfume. It's not one that I wanted to buy, but I did enjoy wearing it the few times that I have. You can see that my sample is pretty small, but I have worn it a couple times, and I will say that one thing that Profumum Roma has the reputation for is for having very potent fragrances. And a lot of people tell me that most of the time I would just need one spray of the scent and I would be able to smell the whole entire day. And they were not wrong. The scents are very potent. So in my book, that's a good thing. I wouldn't say that they're too strong. I would just say that you don't need to use a lot if you are trying to get a long wear time or have a decent amount of sillage. So that was good. But Battito Dali is kind of a gourmand fragrance that then turns into almost like a soapy, floral, musky kind of scent. And I haven't really experienced that kind of progression in a fragrance before. It starts off really sweet, but it does not end up being very sweet. And a lot of times when I put perfume on my skin, it will start off one way and then over time it'll get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And I don't like that because I end up with like the syrupy, cloying kind of fragrance on my skin. In this case, you start off with something very mouth-wateringly sweet. It almost smells like hot chocolate because there's a coconut and there's a coconut note and vanilla, and all of those things combined together give you something that's quite gourmand and dessert-like. And then as you wear the perfume, that really does dissipate. And I would say it's not even like you have to wear it for the whole entire day. You can wear it for like half an hour and then the sweetness is toned down and you're left with more of this orange flower, orangey kind of perfume that's, not heavy, not syrupy. There's a lot of musk in there, which is great. Myrrh is listed as one of the notes. Honestly, I didn't really get a lot of myrrh when I was smelling this one. I do get a musk, like a white musk, but that's blended in a really pleasing kind of way. It doesn't really read laundry either. It just is kind of like skin-like and a little bit soapy. So again, we're back to this idea of them making perfumes that are not too sweet, which is, I think, different from what we encounter in North America when we see gourmand perfumes, at least in my opinion. There's just so many overly sweet perfumes, especially if you just go to your regular department store or drugstore. And I really appreciate that Profumum Roma perfumes, at least from what I've tried, they get the idea across, but without it being overly sweetened. So you get the orange blossom, you get, all the notes. You get the vanilla, you get the coconut, a little bit of chocolate, almost like a chocolate orange at points. But it's done so tastefully, It is just a little bit more stylish, but not boring at the same time. So I liked Battito, but I am not going to get a full bottle. I just don't think it's my kind of perfume. Right now, I don't feel like I want to smell like chocolate and coconut. I mean, that could change. I never thought that I would be looking for the perfect nutty almondy perfume. But here we are. So I like Battito. I just wouldn't buy it. I don't think it's for me. I will continue to try my sample and wear it, but yeah, not really what I was looking for, quite honestly. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is Alba. And I actually wore Alba the other day and I really enjoyed it. This is a nutty perfume and the notes in it are hazelnut and almond. Again, we have myrrh, we have resins, we have vanilla. Once again, it doesn't get too sweet. There definitely is sweetness there. I could smell it on my clothes even afterwards. Like I had sprayed it on and then I put on my jacket to go to work. And, you know, the next day I could still smell some in my jacket. I could actually also smell it in my car. When I got in my car at the end of the day, I could still smell the perfume even though I hadn't sprayed it in my car. And it's not like I have my sample with me either. My sample was here at home. But I enjoyed Alba. I want to say that periodically throughout the day, I thought I smelled so good that I did put it on my wish list. But then I was like, this is like so close to perfect, but it's not perfect yet. And I think it's the hazelnut note that I'm not fully in love with. It's just not a note that I want to smell like, but I will say that Alba is really, really well done. And it is probably my second favorite of the ones that I tried. So if you like nutty notes in your perfume, then definitely try Alba. I think it's so well done. It's better than all the pistachio perfumes that came out last year. Like Alba is still, you know, head and shoulders above all of those, but it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And so I don't think I would get it. So that was Alba. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is Arso, and the sample was sent to me by my friend Ryan from The True Connoisseur. And I think he knew that I was sampling these Profumum Roma scents, and this is the one that he had. He actually talks about it in his frankincense video, and he talks about how it's like a different take on frankincense perfumes. And great video. I enjoyed his description of it. This is really a scent that reminds you of walking into a pine forest. There is like a cedar note, so you get that feel of like wood that's been cut, or like, you know, trees that have fallen over when you walk in the forest. You get pine needles. There's incense in here too, frankincense, and it's done in a way that's makes it not smoky, because I think a lot of frankincense perfumes are smoky, and that kind of gets overdone after a while. But what makes Arso better than some of the other frankincense, foresty kind of scents is that there's a sweetness in here that's in the background, and it almost mimics the scent of sap, like dried sap on trees. And, you know, the stickiness of pine cones, you kind of get that feel when you smell Arso because of the sweetness. And I think the sweetness is what a lot of these cedary, woodsy kind of perfumes are lacking. They're lacking that other dimension of walking into a pine forest, because there is a sweetness there as well. This perfume really reminds me of Diptyque's L'Eau Trois, which is, you know, a famously resinous perfume. It has frankincense in it, has myrrh in it. It also reminds me of walking in a pine forest. It's quite cedary. It definitely has a cedary note, but I actually think that Arso is better. It feels more clear. It doesn't have as much ISO E in it, so it's almost stronger because of that. I feel like ISO E adds like an airiness, but it also intensifies the cedar note. But that airiness makes it kind of I don't know, makes the perfume not feel very concentrated. And it's kind of one of those things that probably everybody around you can smell it so well. It can smell you when you walk into the room, but you become anosmic to it and you can't smell it as well. So I actually think this is better than L'Eau Trois. Do I want it? No, but I do really enjoy it. And if you're looking for a pine forest scent, I would recommend this one above all others because I actually think it's so well done. So you've probably guessed by now which one my favorite perfume is, and that one is Confetto. And Confetto is meant to replicate the scent of confetti, which are Italian almond candies. They're almonds covered with a candy coating, and the coating's often in fun colors like pink and purple and yellow. And you usually find them at Easter time. And Confetto is all of that. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet like all the other Profumum Roma scents. There is an almond note in here, but it's a bitter almond. And I think that bitterness helps temper the sweetness of the candy that's supposedly on these almonds. There's a powderiness, and I love powder, so that kind of completely belongs here as well. And there's vanilla for sure. And it's just a perfectly done scent. And I feel like it matches exactly to the idea of confetti that I wanted, and that almost never happens. A lot of other confetti type perfumes, they try to blend other things in there like florals or whatever else, and Confetto doesn't go in that direction. It really just does give you bitter almonds and candy and powder, I guess, vanilla, I guess, and just, you know, makes it a light, easy, wearable scent. Not light in that it's a weak performing scent, because it is quite strong the way that all the Profumum Roma scents are, but it's just cloud-like, I would say. It just reminds me of like biting into almost like a marshmallow that is flavored with almonds, and it's got that sweetness but also the bitterness of the amaretto flavoring and sugar, and that's it. And powdered sugar, the powder of the powdered sugar on top to keep everything nice and separated and to prevent it from sticking to you. That's what's in here, and it's just so good. I have worn this a bunch of times. You can see my little decant is halfway gone, and I haven't sprung for a bottle yet, but I will. I'm still, you know, I'm waiting to finish this little sample, but this is kind of one of those perfumes that I have said to everyone, like, you need to smell this, you need to smell this, because it just smells so good, and it's perfect. It's perfectly done. It's not overly sweet. It won't give you a headache. It won't give you a toothache. It won't make your throat hurt. I've gotten so many compliments when I wear this. I think because it also has a lot of sillage, and anything sweet is often pleasing to people. You know, it's definitely easier to wear a lot of a sweet scent than to wear something really challenging and animalic. But yeah, that's Confetto. My favorite from what I've tried of Profumum Roma. I'm actually super impressed with everything that I've tried. Even though some things weren't necessarily to my taste, there's not a dud in everything I've tried. Like, everything's been so well done, and I like it. I know another one that's trending right now is Giosa, I think, and I think that's their for lack of a better word, like a sweetened milk, lactonic kind of scent. I haven't smelled that. Honestly, I have no desire to, because that's not my type of perfume right now, but I'm sure it's better than the other sweetened milk scents that are out there, just because these are all better than other versions of the same thing that I've tried. And someone sent me a Miller Harris perfume. I think it was called Ida Violet. And that was really good too if you're looking for something that smells like powdered almonds. but it also has violet in it. So they've taken the candy in a different direction, and still delicious, still not overly sweet, very wearable, very lovely. I think from what I heard, they also discontinued it, so it's harder to find, maybe, but sample it if you're into that sort of thing, because I definitely am, and I really like that one also. I would say I like it number 2 after Confetto. Confetto is definitely my favorite thing, and I will eventually be getting a bottle for sure. It's just a very me perfume, and I think I could wear it for so many different occasions. I can wear it to work, I can wear it on the weekend, I can wear it out wherever I want, and just well done. That's it for me. Those are the Profumum Roma scents that I've tried. I am definitely interested in trying more from the brand. If I come across them, hopefully their distribution increases, and maybe next time I'm out in Europe, I see them in a store and I can try them and explore some more. But until then, these are the ones that I have and that I'll be wearing. And that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.